we hear a song, we have a certain emotion, a thought, a feeling, memory, and colors too. I mean, you can hit a certain chord and it might remind you of purple, or it might remind you of blue.
What is my mission?
When Shay and I got together was to change the scope of how people looked at Chicago music or dance music or tracks and that kind of thing. Like I said, it's more that we were interested in fidelity, taking the bedroom track to the next level, if you will, you know. Obviously, you know, music being organized sound. Sometimes organized sound and color together. That's how I think about it. You know, we were very much, at that time, studying sound systems and things of that nature. We were going to Sound Factory in New York in particular, and, you know, Shelter, things of that nature, you know. And, you know, there's a certain level of quality that's standard for New York clubbing. And even Chicago clubbing back in the day, you know, and, you know, the records were well represented on the dopest sound system you could possibly have at the time, you know, with the technology that was available, you know, analog technology was available at the time. So Sound Factory kind of being kind of like a highly defined sound system. And, you know, we constantly reference things with that system, like how would this sound on Sound Factory? Sound system. You had sub bass, you had bass, you had low mid, you had mid, you had high mid, and then you had high frequencies, and then you had high frequency, you know, and this was all being covered in the range of a system. So when you have like that level of fidelity, you can hear all different types of things. So we played with that idea. You're like, okay, well, all right, well, we know that there's all these dynamic ranges here. We're gonna do stuff to, you know, plug that in here. So it sits in the background here, you know, because, you know, when it's put on a real system, you're gonna hear, it's gonna sound different. We came with the idea of, you know, just really kind of being ourselves and taking the energy of all the things that we've learned and all the scales and colors and things of nature that we've obtained and putting it on this canvas of various vinyl, you know. We're guys that collect music, you know, a lot of different types of music, and they're into a lot of different types of things, you know. And we had teachers like Frankie Knuckles and Ron Hardy, and the era that we came up in, which was very vast in musical selection. It was not one type of thing. So it was always an evolving process. It was never, this is the formula. And yeah, so, you know, when I'm making or layering a song, it's like I'm making a painting, you know. Well, we started recording in Kevin Saunderson's studio, which was $1 million facility, you know, and so therefore this gave us the opportunity to, you know, broaden the scope, you know. We more or less, you know, with all good things, you know, a lot of things are created out of experimentation, you know, so that's kind of like how we went in it. I mean, one of the things that I wanted to say about prescription is that there's the element of ancestral power that kind of sparked it all too. Prescription is more or less related to, as we say, Native American culture. We call it doing medicine work, okay? And medicine work is work that is healing work, okay? This is where the name prescription comes from, because it's a prescription. It's a prescription to the healing work or to the medicine work that we wanted to create, to conjure up in music. And that's what it's about.